Good morning, Ian Crouch with your 8:30 Hunter News update. Hunter New England Health is urging Novocastrians to remain vigilant despite the latest COVID tests coming back negative. Fragments of coronavirus found in wastewater earlier this week prompted concerns there could be an undetected case of the virus in the community. Follow-up tests on the Burwood Beach treatment plant have come back negative, while no new cases have been found in the 1,100 people who came forward for tests on Monday. More sewage testing will be carried out next week, and health authorities are continuing to urge people with cold and flu-like symptoms to get swabbed. Hunter Valley mine workers employed under casual contracts will get a better deal under Labor's plan to improve safety and working conditions. The opposition has put forward a 5-point plan which it hopes to enshrine in legislation. It features a requirement for mines to directly employ 80% of their workforce as permanent staff and introduces a jail term for mining bosses found guilty of industrial manslaughter. Labor leader Jody McKay says there needs to be a level playing field for all mine workers.
Each and every worker needs to be treated fairly and the same, and that doesn't happen under a casualised workforce. It doesn't happen when you've got labour hire companies involved. What we have is that some people are treated and paid well and have conditions that are fine, and then on the other hand you have those who are casual or those through a labour hire company that are treated differently.
The month of May marks the beginning of Domestic and Family Violence Prevention Month in the Hunter. A recent report written by a Hunter lawyer found inconsistencies in the way prevention programs are rolled out across Australia. Joplin Higgins says we should look at what other countries have done and take the best models to implement within our own communities.
AVOs are being breached and there is no consequence. There is a lack of training within our essential services to understand that domestic violence is far more than physical violence. I just feel like we've just been very slow having the conversations that have been desperately needed.
People living and working in high-rise buildings in Newcastle can take comfort in the latest acquisition by Newcastle Fire Station. A brand new 45-metre ladder platform truck is now in service at the Cooks Hill station. It can be used in firefighting and rescues from tall buildings up to 15 stories high. The $2.3 million fire truck is the highest reaching vehicle of any fire service in Australia. The Hunter will once again host the region's largest agricultural show as the Tokal Field Days kick off today. The 3-day event provides activities such as gardening talks, sheep shearing and an opportunity for farmers to buy and sell from each other. Manager Wendy Franklin says the event is not just enjoyable for farmers, but everyone in the community.
A lot of people say if I didn't need a tractor, why would I go to a field day? But it's so much more than that. It touches on all things. There's an animal nursery for children. There's great food and craft. So there's something here that caters for everybody. So it's absolutely not just for farmers.
Heading to the Charlestown Swim Centre for a dip has just become a whole lot more secure for bathers. A new high-tech locker system has been installed at the facility and users can open them remotely through an app and Bluetooth. The company behind the new lockers can also track when the lockers are... The company behind the new lockers can also track when they're most in demand and report back to council.
2NURFM Sport.
The Jets have gone down to the first-placed Melbourne City in a 3-1 loss at Amy Park overnight. Newcastle now have just 6 games to avoid the wooden spoon after being kept winless in their last 11 matches. Coach Craig Dean says it's not enough to just be competitive and the club needs to start putting wins on the board.
I don't think anyone that is in professional sport's happy to be competitive and say we had a crack and we only lost by 1 and Melbourne City's a good team, you only lost by 2. We come here to try and get something out of the game, and that's the same every week.
The Knights could learn today if they're part of the planned expansion to the NRL's women's competition. Plans to increase the NRLW to 6 teams have been in the works since last year, but have been delayed due to COVID-19. Charlestown Azzurri have beaten 2nd Division club Cohiba in their first FFA Cup match this year. The loss sees Cohiba remain winless after the first 4 rounds of the Northern League 1 season. And Newcastle trainer Chris Lees is mourning the loss of 2 of his Melbourne Cup hopes after Sharoa died during surgery and Collide had to be put down after suffering a broken leg. And the winning numbers in Powerball are 15, 23, 3, 10, 30, 14 and 35, and the Powerball number is 15. And now you're up to date with the latest 2NURFM Hunter News.